Hey everyone, so welcome to your first lesson in HSK vocabulary. What I'm going to do is dive headfirst into the words themselves. I don't really want to talk about, the basics or what is Chinese or what does Hanzi mean and all of that stuff. I think the theory will sort of stick to you as you learn more and more. I quite like using the childhood method of learning, which is when you were growing up, you were not really thinking about, oh, what does verb conjugation mean. You were just absorbing the language as it came to you, and you're now fluent in at least one language without really studying it properly. And so that's the kind of approach I want to do for this, which is just dive head first. And the other thing I'm going to do specifically in the series is going to use the method called Chinglish, which is Chinese plus English. And the point of that is twofold. Firstly, it enables you to use Chinese words in a sentence without having to know the entire sentence in Chinese. And I think that's really powerful and really important, because a lot of times when you learn certain words and you try to use them in a sentence, you can't do it because you don't know the other parts of the sentence. And I'll show you an example at the end. So that's one reason. And the other reason is also because I don't want to overwhelm you with the whole sentence and the words that are in the sentence, because it's very easy to get distracted with the tenses and the conjugations and all of that stuff. So yeah, let's start. So the first word, the most famous HSK word, because it's the first one, is let me write it. And the reason why I'm drawing it as well is because you get to see how people write it versus how it actually looks. So you can see my drawing as well as the word here. So this is I, which means love. So 我爱你, I love you, is a very common phrase, very famous phrase. If you watch any Chinese drama, for sure it'll be mentioned at least once in the whole drama somewhere. So I, very common word. It's called love. Let's go on to the next one. This is rather simple. This is ba. And notice the way I'm pronouncing this stuff as well, right? So the last one was I, and the way I wrote it as well was top to down. This sort of thing on the top, that denotes the note. So that is, your tone should come from the top to the bottom. So I, whereas this is ba, flat. That's why I've written flat. And this simply means the number 8. Yeah. All right. Let's go on to the next one. This is quite common as well. I think I've done a terrible job drawing it because it's not picking it up. So let me try a bit slowly. All right, yeah, it's picked up the first one. For some reason it's not picking it up, but okay, let me just show you this one. So this is pa. And if you write the same one again, it is baba. So fourth tone, neutral tone. So ba. So the first one you say from higher pitch to lower pitch, and the second one you just say it very softly. So baba, which just means father. All right. Let's go on to the next one. This one is very important because you will for sure need it when you go to a restaurant. And this is 杯子, which is a cup or a glass. and it's kind of a measure word, which is you need to say this after you say the number of the thing you want. So you could say, like, if I want 2 cups of something, you can say 2 杯子 of something, right? So this is again the sort of Chinglish way of remembering stuff. This next one is a proper noun, so there's not really much point explaining it. Once I pronounce it, you'll know what it means as well. So this is Bei Jing. So this one is third tone, which is a bit, you need to reduce your pitch quite low and, do like a U-shaped sound, which is Beijing. And as you can probably tell, it just means the capital of China, Beijing. The next one is interesting because it has different meanings. So it's this one. This is Ban. And as you can see probably from the shape of the drawing as well, it's got something to do with the root of a plant or something. So it does mean root or origin. But it also is used as a counting word for books. So again, so if you want to say, I want 3 books written by somebody, you can say, I want 3 books written by somebody. Okay? This one is slightly hard to draw with this. Oops, sorry. This is 不客气. And this is very important and very useful because this is a response to thank you. So whenever somebody says thank you or thanks, you can just say 不客气. Again, so this is rising tone, 不. This is falling tone, 客. And this is neutral tone, 气. 不客气. So literally actually it doesn't really mean you're welcome, but that's kind of the way it's used. Literally actually it means something like, don't be so polite or something like that, because 客气 is politeness. But yeah, you can currently for HSK1 you can just remember this to be a response to thank you. So the first word from it, or the first character from that one, was this character, which is 不. And this literally means no, or a negation of anything that's written after it. Some of you might be wondering, why did I call it 不, the 4th tone here, but in the previous one I was calling it 不客气. So this is a bit advanced maybe for HSK1, but something for you to remember is whenever, especially for 不, like the character 不, if the next character is 4th tone, which is falling tone, then the 不 becomes 2nd tone, which is rising character. So you can never have 不客 anything, or even like you can never have 不用 or whatever, because whenever there's a 4th tone after 不, the 不 becomes 2nd tone. Why this happens or why we do that is a topic for later, but for now you can just remember. And in general, 不 is mostly used in the 4th tone when you're talking about negation and stuff. So for example, if you want to say I don't need this, you can say I 不 need this. Alright? Yeah, some food related, food related words for you now. So it's this one, which is called cai. Again, fourth tone, which means dish or vegetable. So if you want to say I like Chinese food, you can say I like Chinese cai. A very similar looking word is cha. Cha, second tone, and it means tea. There's no complication here. You can just say I like to drink tea. You can say I like to drink cha. And a very important verb in this category is this one. This is called chi, first tone, flat tone, chi, which means to eat. Very important. So if you want to say I want to eat Chinese food, how would you say that? You would say I want to吃 Chinese. Do you remember what's the word for Chinese dishes? So you can have a think while I write it. So it's cai. So I want to eat Chinese cai. So these are the words for today. See you in the next lesson. Try practicing this. Try using them in these hybrid sentences. And don't worry about the sentence not being perfectly in Chinese, because what you want to focus on right now is understanding and remembering what these words mean. The grammar and the sentence structure and how would you write to in Chinese, or how would you phrase this correctly in the right tense and all of that stuff can come later. And I would even say like grammar and sentence structure is not really useful until you learn all the vocabulary, because otherwise you'll just end up memorizing a bunch of rules without really having the vocabulary to fill it out properly. So that's the lesson for today. See you in the next video.